Before we start talking about the Android emulator, which is next up, I wanted to reach back to the previous page, and hopefully you made your way through that hands-on section. You set up an application, you took some time clicking around. One of the things they asked us to do that I didn't notice was I was doing the demo is they wanted us to go over into strings XML and modify it so it said hello Android world instead of just hello world. So you probably saw that and did that, but I wanted to make sure that on my system I updated that as well. That way I'm staying consistent with everything that you have. And so here we see in the layout it says hello Android world in this display here. Okay. Anyhow, so if we make our way over to our next page, the Android emulator, well, probably the best tool that comes with the SDK is an emulator. So an emulator allows you to create and test Android applications without having to use a real device. And even if you do have a real device, you're going to want to test these applications using various configurations, right? You're going to want to test it on a tablet or on a phone or on different screen sizes and different API levels. So the cool thing here is that you can build several different Android virtual devices or AVDs that are each configured for different maybe different layouts, maybe different versions of Android, or maybe different sizes of screens, things like that. So this emulator is going to give you most of that functionality that you're going to get with an actual device. It's an emulator, not a simulator, so it really is the actual code that runs on the device. But we do say most of the functionality because there's some things that it just can't do. For example, you can't ask the emulator to vibrate and actually get any kind of tactile feedback from that. That would be something that a device would do, not an emulator. But it does give you things like the ability to click on some of those control keys. So Android, for example, has a home key and a back key. Those are going to be available on the emulator. So really good stuff. This is going to be something we'll be launching in just a moment. Actually, to launch it within Eclipse, we're going to go to the window menu item and then choose Android Virtual Device Manager. And that'll allow us to configure and start up an emulator. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is part of this hands-on that's over on the right-hand page anyway. So just like before, what we're encouraging you to do is on your systems, after this video is done, try this out as well. Or maybe pause the video and try this as I'm talking. So go to Window. We're going to go to Android Virtual Device Manager. That's a menu item that's there because we have the AVD plugin. All right, we haven't declared any virtual devices yet. We don't have any created, so we want to build a new one. We'll click on the New button. And we can give our device a name. The book is indicating we're going to call it My Jelly Bean. So it's going to be a Jelly Bean release emulator. And the size, we'll go with the 4-inch WVGA. You can see there's other options here. We can, for example, deploy to a Nexus 7 or a Nexus 10, Nexus 4. So several different devices and different screen sizes are available in this drop-down. We'll go with just a standard 4-inch WVGA. Target, which API? I'm going with 17. That's the one that I know everything's been tested on. So we'll say API level 17. And then any other things, we already have the right ARM installed. We're going to use our hardware keyboard. It's going to be a lot easier than using the soft keyboard on the emulator, so I'm good with that checkbox. What else here? Cameras. I mean, you could potentially choose things here, like maybe it emulates the back camera. I think if you even have a webcam installed, it can use that webcam for your camera. The book says go with emulated. I'll do that. I'm not sure if that matters too much for what we're doing here in the next several videos, but we'll go with that. You can have an SD card and tell it how big it's going to be. I'll go with 100 here, megabytes, and click the OK button. So we now have ourselves a device. Well, that device has been configured, but we want to start it up. And so to do that, we click on the device here in this list, and potentially you could have a bunch of devices here. We'll choose this one that we've built, and then we'll click on the Start button. It's going to ask us a few questions here, and I'll just leave everything blank, and I'll just hit Launch. And this is going to take a bit. It's going to launch the emulator, so there's a starting emulator dialog that comes up. And as that rolls its way through, there's also an emulator itself. It's fell to the background. Here it is. It's starting. That actually takes just a little bit to get going. So I'm gonna pause the video, and once that correctly starts, we'll start it back up. Okay, well, on my computer that took a couple minutes, so it probably did on yours as well, or it will on yours as well, depending upon when you run this thing. So maybe when you go about doing this on your systems, go through these same steps to create the AVD and click on the launch button, go get a cup of coffee, come back, and you should have a screen similar to what I have right here. Okay, so the first thing it's telling me is make yourself at home. So it's just kind of giving you a little intro to the emulator, to the device. I'm just going to click the OK button. And sometimes this comes up with a screen lock. You have to take like this little circle in the middle and move it to the right. In this case, I guess I don't have that. I'm dragging around now, and so it's doing things. I'll click the home button. It's this little button off to the right, the home button. That takes you back to the home screen. Okay, so we have our emulator running, and we want to, let's run something on it. So we should close the Android Virtual Device Manager window. So I'll go ahead and close this window down. And now I've got my Hello Android application as activity back here. I'm going to make sure that this is chosen as one of the projects. So that's the one I want to launch. So this is the proper project that's chosen in the Package Explorer. And I'm going to go to the Clips menu and click on Run, and then Run again. It's asking me what to run this as. Well, this is an Android application. I will click OK, and it's going to go about taking that application and launching it on my emulator. And it might take just a moment to do that. If we go back over to our ADT window, actually, well, you know what? Oh, here it comes. It pops up a dialog and asks, hey, do you want to do this logcat thing? Do you want to monitor with this this logger? And yes, we do. Logcat's going to be something we talk about more in a bit, but it gives us messages about what's going on. So I'm just going to simply click OK here. And so down now in my Eclipse window at the very bottom, there's a logcat view that's explaining some of the things that are going on the system. And by the way, if we had not started up the emulator and we had chose that run option, it would start an emulator for us, but then we'd be waiting for it to start up. Here it finds the one that's already running and deploys to that. So there we go. It is running. So it says Hello Android World. This is the simple application that we created, and well, there it is in all its glory. I think this will be a little better if we add some more code here. So that's what's going to happen in the next several videos. But just to kind of wrap up, again, what we did is we built a brand new AVD, a new emulator, using this Window Android Virtual Device Manager menu option in Eclipse. Chose new, chose particular values, and then we hit the Start button, and that launched the emulator. And then we chose Run after we had chosen our application, and we ran that as an Android app. And that's what launched the application inside of our Android emulator. So again, that's good enough for now. In the next video, we're going to start adding some code here into our project so that this thing does a little bit more than just simply say hello world. So that's where we're headed next. Adding some code, adding maybe some layout stuff as well.